Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you the best characters in Apex Season 28, and I'm also going to be showing you how to find your main in Apex Legends. But without further ado, let's get into it. So first of all, we have Bangalore. Bangalore's tactical is a smoke grenade that can help you outrun enemy fire easily without being seen. Although this is good, her ultimate is way better. You can throw on enemies and it'll spawn an airstrike that'll explode on impact. This not only does massive damage, but it can also help force out enemies from cover. She also has her passive that lets her run faster when being shot at. This helps her escape from enemy fire. Overall, Bangalore is a very strong character, and that's why she's gonna go all the way up in A tier. She's just super strong and very fun to play, and I highly recommend her. But next we have Revenant. Revenant is a very aggressive character, with his tactical making you able to launch behind enemies and shoot them. On top of this, his ultimate gives him an extra 75 shield to help survive enemy fire. Also, his passive lets you climb extremely high, allowing you to flank enemy teams and shoot them from behind. Another part of his passive lets you see enemies through walls, which helps you find players that you're chasing. Revenant's okayly strong, putting him around a B in skill, but he is very fun to play, being able to climb walls and just jump around everywhere, so I'm probably going to put him at an A tier. But next up, we have Fuse. Fuse's tactical is a grenade that does damage over time and can help force out enemies from cover or just deal damage entirely. His ultimate's also pretty strong, being able to shoot a fireball at your enemies that encloses them in fire and does a ton of damage. Okay, so before I talk about Fuse, one thing I should say is I forgot to mention that his tactical also allows you to jump super far, like really far. It's kind of cool. But if we're talking about Fuse, he's not the greatest character, and that's why he's around D tier in skill, and he's also not the funnest, so that's where he's going. But next up, we have Mad Maggie. Maggie's tactical lets you shoot a drill that does damage to enemies through walls, which is great for pushing them out of cover. Mad Maggie's ultimate throws a giant ball that does a ton of damage on impact, and also does damage to you, so watch out. It also places down speed pads that help you and your team push another enemy team. Overall, Mad Maggie isn't the strongest. Her skill level is just kind of outran by the other characters, and she's kind of just in a D tier when it comes to that. She's also not the greatest in fun, I guess. Um, so she's gonna go somewhere around Fuse. But next up, we have Ballistic. Ballistic's tactical shoots a homing missile that overheats your weapon and also does damage. On top of that, his ultimate gives you a speed boost and gives your entire team infinite ammo for a short period of time. If I'm being honest, Ballistic is horrible. I mean, he's just really annoying. He kind of sucks. And I honestly don't know where to put him. He's not fun. Yeah, no, he's not great. And for these reasons, I'm just gonna put him in E tier. There's not much you can do with him. But next up, we have Pathfinder. Pathfinder's ultimate lets you travel super far on a placeable zipline. Like, how cool is that? But if you do travel directly into a team, just don't suck like me or else you're gonna die. But this isn't even the best part. My favorite part is his tactical. His tactical lets you grapple extremely far, and if used correctly, he's extremely strong. Now, if I'm being completely honest, he's not the greatest character. He's probably like a C tier in skill, maybe a B tier. But he is extremely fun to play, and that's why he's gonna go somewhere in the middle of A tier. But next up, we have one of the best characters, Wraith. Wraith's tactical lets you go completely invisible for a short period of time while also being able to double jump in the new update. On top of that, she has her portal, where your teammates can go in and out of it, and you can take your entire team through it at once. Keep in mind that other enemies can use your portal too, though. Wraith isn't the strongest character. He's probably like a C, maybe a B. Um, but she is definitely one of the funnest characters in the game. Also, her tactical lets you put yourself in bad positions and still make it out alive. But next we have Octane. Octane, my personal main, is extremely fun because his stim lets you run extremely fast whenever you want to, and he also has a second stim that gives him health. On top of that, he has his ultimate, which is extremely fun to use, and your entire team can go on it. It lets you bounce extremely far while also having a double jump. Because of this recent update, he has gotten a little better, and honestly, I think his skill's probably an A tier now. But he is extremely fun, just like Wraith, which is why she's going to go all the way up in S tier. But next, we have Horizon. Horizon is another movement character that has her tactical that lets her levitate into the sky extremely fast. But better yet, she has her ultimate, which is the coolest yet. It's a black hole that when paired with grenades is deadly to enemy teams. Another cool movement tech with Horizon is that when you fall from somewhere very high, you don't get stunned. Although she's very fun, she's not the greatest in skill. She's probably around a B, maybe an A, but she's just not in the meta as of right now. Although that's true, she's an extremely fun character. I highly recommend her, and that's why she's going in S. But next, we have Ashe. Ashe used to be extremely powerful, but she got nerfed in the ground, and her passive doesn't even go that far. Her tactical kind of sucks too, which snares enemies, does a little bit of damage, and makes it so they can't run. Her best ability is probably her ultimate, which just summons a portal that can go really anywhere. Ashe's dash was extremely overpowered for a very long time, giving her 2 dashes and they went extremely far. She was just broken overall. But after she got nerfed, she kind of sucks now. I'd honestly put her around Fuse and skill, and she's just not the funnest anymore. One thing I should say is that I made this tier list way before I made this video, and I put her all the way up in A, not knowing that she got nerfed, so just don't follow that. But next we have Alter. Alter's tactical places a portal through walls that is extremely strong and lets you flank other players. You can also place the portals like this, and it lets you teleport all the way up, which is pretty cool. We also have her ultimate, which was extremely broken, got nerfed, and is still extremely strong. It lets you teleport you and your entire team back to it at any moment. Alter is broken, has been broken, and is just extremely good. She's also extremely fun to play, and I extremely recommend you to play her. She's a great person to main, and that's why she's going all the way at the top of S tier. But next, we have the Recon, starting with Bloodhound. Bloodhound's tactical lets you scan nearby players, seeing them through walls, hoping you find them. His ultimate is also strong, letting you get a speed boost, see footsteps, and also when you get a knock, you get another tactical. Bloodhound isn't the strongest character. He hasn't gotten many changes over the years, and he's stayed the same. He's not the strongest, probably around C tier, but he is really fun to play, and he also can be good if you use him the right way, and that's why he's going all the way in A tier. But next we have Crypto. Crypto's tactical is a drone that you can enter and fly around that scans enemies for your entire team. Not only this, but it makes your character completely invisible, as you can see in the video, and his ultimate's also pretty strong, doing a lot of shield damage. When your drone gets shot down, you will be revealed and go back to your normal self. Crypto isn't very strong at all. He kind of sucks if I'm being completely honest, and, you know, when you get him on your team, it's kind of annoying because, you know, all the people that use him kind of just sit on the drone and do fucking nothing, so that's great. Like I said, he's just not very good. He's not in the meta, and that's why he's going all the way at the bottom at E tier. Next, we have Valkyrie. Valkyrie's passive lets you fly on a jetpack that has a certain gas limit. She also has her tactical that shoots missiles at enemy players, stunning them and doing damage. Her ultimate is pretty useful, letting her fly like an evac with her team, and also she can scan enemies like this when she skydives. Like a lot of the other characters, Valkyrie just isn't that strong right now. She never really was, and she's also not the most fun to play. I can understand if you like playing her, but in my opinion, she's just not the greatest in main. That's why I'm going to put her in C tier next to Mad Maggie. Next, we have Seer. First of all, his passive lets you see enemies through walls somewhat with this weird thing when you aim down sights. His tactical lets you scan people while also stunning them and doing damage. And his ultimate shows footsteps and the amount of enemies in that area. When there is enemies in the zone, you can also double jump, which is pretty interesting. Seer has been on a roller coaster all throughout Apex. He was one of the best to one of the worst, one of the best to one of the worst. He was broken at some points, and now he's just horrible. He's not good at all, not in the meta, and he's honestly just not that fun to play, if I'm being completely honest. Some people might have different opinions, but he's just not good. For these reasons, I'm going to put him in E tier. But next, we have Vantage. Her tactical throws a bat, and when you jump to it, you have like a double jump that launches you extremely far sometimes, and can be pretty useful. Although that's good, her ultimate kind of sucks, being almost like a rip-off Sentinel and doesn't do much damage. Her passive is that when she's aiming down, you can see other people's shields, which you can see in that last video, but again, she's just not good at all. She really sucks, I'm not gonna lie. She's always sucked, she never was good. And that's why she's going to go all the way and down in E tier. Next, we have Sparrow. Sparrow stands out being able to basically triple jump, one by itself and one when climbing walls. His tactical throws arrows that scan enemies when they walk into it, which works well, I guess, but people can easily break them, and his ultimate is his strong suit. His ultimate not only stuns other people, but also does a ton of damage and works very well in-game. Overall, Sparrow is pretty strong, and he's also very fun with his triple jump, and that's why he's going to go pretty high up on here. I decided to put him at the top of A tier, but next, we have Gibby. Gibby's tactical throws down a shield that can block almost anything, while also having an ultimate that throws down airstrikes from the sky, almost like Bangalore. This also does tons of damage. On top of that, he has a gun shield every single time he aims down sights, which blocks a lot of damage. Recently, Gibby just got a huge buff, and he's extremely strong as of right now. He's honestly broken, and I didn't know that until I started recording this video, but he's probably an A tier or an S tier on skill, and he is pretty fun. I'd probably put him somewhere at the top of A tier or the very bottom of S, just because he's not the funnest to play, but he is really good. Next, we have one of my favorites, Lifeline. Lifeline's passive is that when you jump, you have another jump that lets you glide extremely far on a drone. Her ultimate is pretty strong, blocking a lot of damage, almost like a Gibby shield. It also lets you heal faster in this. One thing that stands out with Lifeline is her rezzing ability. When one of your teammates is knocked, you can place your drone down on top of them and res them for you while you fight. Without trying to be biased since I use Lifeline, I think she's extremely strong, and people just don't use her enough. She can also be extremely fun, and honestly, I'm gonna put her all the way up in S tier. Next, we have Mirage. Mirage is one of the more interesting characters, letting you throw a decoy that distracts enemies. It should also be noted that you can control these decoys to make it seem more realistic. His ultimate is extremely strong, placing tons of decoys everywhere, making them have no idea where you are. Like Lifeline, he has a rezzing ability too, but instead of using a drone to res them, he goes completely invisible. Now, when I said his ultimate was extremely strong, I was lying. He is absolutely horrible, I'm not gonna lie to you. He's honestly a D tier, maybe an E tier, but he is kinda fun to play, I guess. I'm just gonna put him in D tier. But next, we have Loba. Loba's tactical lets her teleport to anywhere with her bracelet. Her ultimate has been nerfed, but it is still pretty good, I guess. It has this huge radius that when you go into, you can pick up anything near it. You can also get free ammo and shield cells, but there's only a limit of 2 things that you can get. Also, her passive lets you see things through walls, as you can see right now, which is alright, but she's just not the greatest anymore. Her ultimate got nerfed, and she's just not very strong. I will say her tactical is somewhat fun to use, and she does have 2 tacticals, which makes her a little bit better, especially when running from enemy teams, and that's why I'm going to put her all the way up in B tier. But next, we have Newcastle. I personally love Newcastle's tactical. It lets you place down a shield that blocks enemy shots, and can be extremely strong when paired with shotguns. You can also move it unlike Gibby's, and it also helps block your team too. Keep in mind that it can be broken though. Something cool is his ultimate that shuts up a huge wall that also stuns enemies if they get too close, destroys grenades when thrown at it, and it's just really cool overall in my opinion. But best of yet, he has another res ability. Instead of using a drone to res or resing invisible, he can res with a huge shield that goes with your knockdown shield. Personally, I think it's better than Lifelines just because you're able to move and help your teammates survive easier. I love Newcastle. I think he's a great character, and he's very strong, very fun to play, and he's just going to go all the way up in S tier. Next, we have Conduit. Conduit's ultimate sets up a huge line of, like, zapper things that do quite a lot of damage and are kind of annoying to deal with. It helps separate teams easier, especially in end zones, and can be helpful when running away from people. I didn't get any footage of it, but her tactical heals your teammates' shield for a short period of time, and is pretty useful. She's a good support character. She's not the strongest, I would say, but she is kind of fun, I guess. I'm just gonna put her in B tier with Loba. But next, we have Caustic. Caustic's ultimate shoots out a huge fart bubble. Yep, and it does damage. That's great. Okay. One thing that is very strong is he blocks doors with his tacticals, so people can't open it. That's extremely annoying, and if they try to break it, it just explodes on them, so that's great. We all love this character, obviously. Everyone does. I'll speak for everyone here. And, when people run into it, it farts. That's great. Sick. So just don't suck like me again. Okay, so obviously he's just going straight in F tier. He fucking sucks. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He's really broken right now, and that's why we all hate him. He's extremely annoying, alright? Because all people do is they place traps, like, everywhere in a building, camp there till like they have to move, and it's just like, dude, are we serious right now? Like, you are such a Chad, such a Chad. Um, but he is wrong. He's not the funnest to play, but you know, I have to give him a good rating because he's good. I guess let's put him in B tier. So just don't camp in buildings, please. Please just stop doing it, Caustic. But next we have Watson. Now, Watson's kind of like Caustic. She has these little, like, zapper things that when people walk through them, they get stunned. It also, like, electrifies doors, which is pretty cool. And it also replenishes windows, which is pretty cool. Personally, I like Watson, even though it kind of goes along with you just camp the building. I guess it's a little less annoying than Caustic, and it does take skill, especially when you're using them in fights. But she is strong. She's fun to use, in my opinion. Just don't be weird with it. And her ultimate kind of is strong, in my opinion. It heals your entire team with shield for a while. And she also gains shield over time as her passive, which is pretty sick, almost like Octane's. So as you can see, she's pretty strong for a controller legend. One of my favorite characters, honestly. Fun to play. Great character. I'm gonna put her in A tier. But next, we have Rampart. Rampart can place down shields that kind of like build themselves. I like that animation. But it's like a one-way shooting window, I guess. You can't shoot through it from the other side, but you can from your side. Really annoying, but it is strong. People can break it pretty easily, thankfully. But the bottom does give you a little bit of protection, I guess. Also, if your aim sucks, well, now you have a minigun. So, yeah, that's great. Now, again, I immediately want to throw an F tier. Just instantly. We all hate her. We all do. Just admit it. But she is strong, I guess. She's not used much, like, for pros, just because, like, at a certain level, people know how to counter her. Um, I guess she's somewhat fun to play. I'm just gonna put her in B tier. I really don't know where she is. Last but not least, we have Catalyst. Catalyst is alright in my opinion. She's used in ALGS, but she's kind of just whatever for your newer players that don't know how to use her. She has these spikes that slow you down. They do a bit of damage. She can also reinforce doors, making it like impossible to break. They also can't open it. That's pretty cool, and she's okayly strong, I guess. As you'll see here in a second, I actually didn't know this at first, but now that they added the windows, she can actually rebuild windows, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know if all the controller legends can do that, but she can, so that's cool. And so her strongest part of her, kit is her ultimate. It sets aside teams. People can't really, I mean, they can shoot through it, but they can't see through it. They also get, like, blinded when they walk through it, and they get slowed. So that's pretty cool. It's just hard to use, I guess. Like I said, she's using the ALGS. She's extremely strong. In my opinion, she's just not that fun to use. I'm probably gonna put her somewhere in A tier. Never mind, I put her in B tier. Okay, that's great. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. And so, yeah, to find your main, just look through all those characters, see what you like, and, yeah, I hope this helped you guys. Just remember, this is my opinion. I'm not a pro. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.